How do you get the tonal dynamics of a mic'd acoustic guitar in a live environment, but with the flexibility and mobility of a wireless system? Let's talk about my new favorite piece of kit for live gigs. This is the CloudVocal GT-10 acoustic guitar wireless system. And yes, I called it kit and not gear because I've been watching a lot of Ted Lasso and Welcome to Wrexham the last few years. Damn you, Ryan Reynolds and the other guy, for making me care about a sport that I've never played. I'm Thom Tran, and this is the story behind the strings. First of all, I get the joke that nobody remembers Rob McElhenney's name, and that is a shame because he is very, very funny. But if he's okay with the joke, then I am okay with the joke. Secondly, this is the first episode about a piece of gear and not an actual guitar. But if you love guitars, you probably love gear, so you'll at least like this episode or be indifferent. Who knows? Before we get started, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell icon to be notified when I drop a new episode. It really does help the channel. So let's start with the specs, and most importantly, what is this thing? The CloudVocal GT-10 is a fully mobile, easily attached and detached wireless pickup for your acoustic guitar, even though it's not actually a pickup. It's this ingenious dual head condenser mic on a gooseneck that you can quickly switch in and out between instruments. Let's start with a look at what comes in the box. You get the receiver, where you control the gain, EQ, and plug in all the bits and bobbles, along with the required antenna. Pro tip, it looks like a stomp box, but do not stomp on it. Also included is a cardioid. It also includes a cardioid microphone system on a gooseneck that you can adjust to place the mic in various positions inside your acoustic guitar to get different sounds. You also get the rubber mounts and sound hole covers so you can attach the system to your guitar, and you have the option of completely covering the sound hole or using the bracket that just goes across it, and we'll talk about why you'd want to do that later. You also get 4 different options and sizes that will work on steel string, nylon, and classic guitars. In addition, you'll get all the power adapters for different countries in case you're traveling with it, and you can even use a standard 9-volt stomp box power adapter. And finally, you get this pretty sturdy case to carry it all in. The iSolo GT-10 wireless guitar system retailed direct from CloudVocal for $449 with $30 shipping. It's also available on Amazon for $479 minus a $30 discount, so it's marked up just to be marked down. But through Amazon, there was sales tax, so it actually cost more on Amazon than it did direct. So it's not an inexpensive piece of kit, considering the Fishman Matrix Infinity VT system costs about $200, less than half the price of the CloudVocal GT-10, and you can get other pickups for under $100, but those aren't typically wireless units. And that price might be another reason more people don't have this system, but there are pluses and minuses to both, and we'll talk all about that in just a couple of minutes. There are currently multiple CloudVocal wireless systems available for acoustic guitar, wind instruments, violin, saxophone, and more. So be aware of that when you're shopping for one. And I tried finding a GT-10 guitar system on Reverb and eBay, but as of this recording, there were 0 available, which leads me to believe that either people don't know about this piece of kit, or people are buying them and loving them and not giving them up. Now, if you've got an aftermarket pickup in your acoustic, let me know what you're using in the comments below. Before we get into what it sounds like, let's talk about installation. We'll start with the receiver. We'll plug it into my Spark 40 modeling amp, just as a demonstration. It's a pretty straightforward connection. First, we attach the antenna, then plug in the 1/4-inch instrument cable from the receiver to the amp. The kit also comes supplied with both a standard 1/4-inch to 1/4-inch instrument cable and a 1/4-inch to XLR cable in case you want to plug direct into a board. Then I plug in the power supply. You see the light blinking because it's looking for a connection, and once it establishes a connection with the transmitter, that'll go solid. Now for the pickup. Like I said before, there are 4 options for installing this pickup into your acoustic. You get a sound hole cover and a sound hole brace that will fit a standard steel string acoustic, and then you get a similar pair of mounts that are smaller that will work with classical or nylon strung guitars or steel string guitars with smaller sound holes like this Ibanez PGA 1000. Installation for both sets are identical. So let's install both. First, we'll take the GT-10 mic and slide it into the brace. Make sure the antenna goes into this slot. Adjust the gooseneck with the mic to whatever position you want it in, whether it's closer to the bridge or the neck or wherever. Make sure you secure the mount so it doesn't slip, and that's it. With the sound hole cover, it's the same deal. Take the GT-10 mic, slide it into the sound hole cover, and slip it underneath the strings and secure it in place. If you have a guitar with a neck that comes right down to the sound hole, there's a little notch around the sound hole cover that you can line up with the end of the neck. Give it a little twist, do a little shimmy, Bob's your uncle. So why would you want to use the full sound hole cover as opposed to just the brace? Well, a few reasons, but if you're going to be playing in a venue that's larger, that could result in unwanted feedback, and the full sound hole cover can help dampen that feedback. As for the brace system, let's say you already have a pickup installed in your acoustic like the Fishman Matrix Infinity VT. Instead of uninstalling the pickup, you can use the brace mount of the CloudVocal GT-10 instead of, or in addition to, the Fishman. Now that we've got it installed, to turn it on, you press and hold the power button. You'll see the little green light blink, and when it's connected to the receiver, both lights will go solid. Now we're ready to play. So we'll do a very quick demo to show you what the CloudVocal iSolo GT-10 pickup sounds like compared to the Fishman that's installed in this Ibanez PGA 1000. And we'll compare it to a Shure SM57 and a Shure SM58 pointed at the sound hole. Now, those are not the best mics for recording acoustic guitars, but in a live comedy club environment, those are going to be my typical options. I'm also going to record everything flat with no processing and at the same time onto separate channels so you can hear exactly what the same audio sounds like through different pickups. Here we go. All right, now that we've got the recording done, let me give you my immediate thoughts after playing with the CloudVocal, mic'd with the SM57 and the SM58, and direct out of my guitar. The first thing you're gonna notice when I edit this is that you're not gonna hear a signal from the direct line from my guitar, because despite the fact that I put in a new battery and just had this set up and fixed, there's a short in the preamp and I'm getting no signal out of the direct input from the guitar into my board. So already a point for the CloudVocal, because I can tell whether this is working or not right away. Two, a couple of times I hit these mics with my hand while I was strumming, and it immediately threw me off as I was playing, because in my head I started thinking, oh man, what if you can hear my hand hitting that microphone? And if I were live on stage at a comedy club playing, I don't need that in my head. I don't need something else going on up there while I'm trying to remember chords and lyrics to some ridiculous song that I'm playing. Three, at no point did I have to worry about hitting the microphone on the CloudVocal. So those are my immediate thoughts after recording with the CloudVocal unit and the microphones and the direct out from my guitar. Okay, so there you have it. Now I can only tell you which system I prefer because my ears are a mess from a decade of being in the US Army with things constantly exploding near my head. So what you hear may be different. Personally, I really like using the CloudVocal iSolo GT-10. Given the convenience, tonal quality, and flexibility of the system, I prefer this over the other options. I don't have to mess with cables that I can and have stepped on during a performance, and I don't have to worry about the battery and the guitar being dead even after I sound checked with it, and I don't have to worry about that terrible sound that comes with unplugging the guitar when the sound person forgets to mute my line. What about you? Which tones do you prefer? The iSolo, the Shure SM57, or 58? Let me know in the comments below. I should also mention that the CloudVocal system gives you the option of blending the tones of the iSolo and your internal pickup in case you're in a situation with a full band and you need your acoustic guitar to cut through that wall of sound. Okay, for my gear nerds out there, that's the story behind the strings of the CloudVocal iSolo GT-10 wireless acoustic guitar system. I really wanted to do this episode because this system literally sits behind the strings of my acoustic guitar. And I'm also going to do a companion episode to this one where I take the iSolo unit out to some comedy club gigs so I can show you how and when I do or don't decide to use this system. So hit the bell icon to be notified when that drops. Thanks again for watching. I hope this episode was helpful. What do you think about the CloudVocal iSolo GT-10 system? Would you use this? What kind of pickups are you using in your acoustic guitar when you play live? Or are you using one at all? Are you miking it? What kind of microphone are you using? Let me know in the comments below. I should also say that CloudVocal did not pay me to do this episode. I bought and paid for this system myself, and I really dig it, so I want to pass the info along to you. Would I totally work with them in the future? Hell yeah, I would. So, you know, if you want to support the show and you've got the means, please hit me up on the Patreon page and become a patron. You can be a roadie, a guitar tech, or a hired gun. You'll get swag, exclusive access, shout-outs, and you can tell me what guitar you want me to go behind the strings of. Speaking of shout-outs, big shout-out to viewers and fans Fernando and his son Santiago, who've decided to start learning guitar together. Very, very cool. They watched my episode about the Ovation CSD 225 double neck together. If you want a free and easy way to support the show, just like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon to be notified when I drop a new episode, and share it with your friends or your enemies. Whatever, you do you. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by my birthday in February, so if you can help me out with that, that would be groovy. Follow me on all the places, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. My stand-up comedy dates are all on my website, and I'm working on material for a new comedy album, and you can get all that information at ThomTran.com. Links to everything are in the show notes. Thanks again, and let the strings tell your story. Also included is a cardioid,